Hey everybody, welcome back. We're gonna go ahead and look at drums today, and it is another plugin that we are going to be looking into downloading, and it's going to be called ML Drums. So if you want to take some time and go and look at, oh, that's the wrong one, this one. If you want to take some time and go and check out ML Drums, there is a free version of this plugin. Sorry for the wind in the background. It's kind of raining pretty bad over here right now. There's a free version of this. It doesn't have as many drums or cymbals, but it does improve the sound of what we have already in PreSonus. PreSonus does well, which we have down here, and I'll hit play to hear the drums. I would have wished you well, but I don't think you believe me. Okay, and that's what they sound like. And if you remember, we have, in a previous episode when we recorded the drum tracks, we kept the file from the Midi. And it's just currently silenced right now on the track. So you can't hear it, but it's still there. And the reason for that is because MIDI files are able to be transferred to different tracks, provided that they are another MIDI instrument, mainly, for this example, ML Drums. Now again, it's a free plugin, and in the last episode we went through free guitar plugins and how to use them and to change the sounds and stuff like that. We're doing the exact same thing here with the drums, except it's with MIDI. So what we're going to do is up here in the top bar here, you have an icon that has a mute tool on it. It's a speaker with a slash in it. If you click that and then click on the track, it will unmute that track. And then I'm going to put it back on my arrow. There are keys that you can click instead of doing that, but just to get you going and learning these tools up here a little bit, we're just going to stick with going up to the top bar and clicking them. Another one that you can use is this listen tool, and if you hold anywhere on a track and press the button on your mouse, and that's a good one to listen to as well. Okay, so it should be the exact same thing as this. Now, it might sound a little bit more refined, but that is because we had, I do believe, a handful of plugins on the drum bus. Yes, we do. So, what we're going to do with this is we're going to go ahead and mute our drums audio. Just in case you don't like it, you want to hang on to it for a minute or two. And then we're going to go to our mover tool here and click the ML Drums. Well, I already named it ML Drums. It was on PreSonus. We're going to take the whole thing and drag it down to ML Drums. It was the same track that was on PreSonus, but instead of the way that this sounds, our sound is now going to be this. Now see, that to me makes a drastic difference. There are a handful of presets that you can roam through. I personally like the metalcore preset for this one, but we can try maybe a 90s wet. And it does take a few seconds on my computer to load, so I'm just going to let it kind of load up a little bit, and then X out, and then hit our listen tool. And that's a pretty good sounding kit too, but as we all know, the best way to find out is to listen to it in the mix. So I don't know why, and I'm not really sure if this is everybody else, but if my arm track is on, it's a lot quieter than if it's off. But I don't think you believe me. So I'm going to turn my arm off, and that makes a big difference in my opinion compared to what it used to sound like. So we'll just kind of go through each and see which one we like the best. And to make it easier on myself, I'm going to drag this ML drums down in between so that I can mute back and forth. But I wish you well, but I don't think you believe me. That to me makes a very significant difference. So with deciding a drum preset, you can adjust them too. You can click on each of these little arrows and it brings up different options that you can mess with. Just for this example, I'm just going to use some of the essential ones just because it's what I have and what I like, and see what each of them sounds like. Maybe try let's try modern high here. And again, I'll give it a couple of seconds. And yes, I'm aware that you may not have all of the options that I do. I have downloaded and purchased the Essentials kit. I very much like this kit, and do recommend you purchase it if you decide to. But if you don't have the funding, if you're just trying to do this without spending any money, you can definitely use the free version for a good long time. I did for about a year, and then I finally went ahead and spent the money on getting the Essentials kit. So let's hear what this modern high sounds like on it. Meh, not a fan, so we'll go ahead and change. Well, let's try one more. Yeah, let's try high and tight. Alright, so yeah, I'm still kind of privy to either the metalcore or the 90s metal wet. And just for fun of it, I'm going to pick the 90s. Nostalgia, after all. So this is going to be the drum kit that I choose. So what I'm going to do is, since I know I'm not going to be using this mix down on the drum main anymore, I'm going to go ahead and click it and delete it. And then I'm going to right click on the ML drums MIDI and mix down that selection so that it's a stereo file. There we go. And then I will take that whole track, drag it down, turn off my arm, and listen to it. I would have wished muted. You well, but I don't think you believe me. Okay, so now that that's done, I still want to keep this track. We don't need the mix down 7 anymore, so we're just going to go ahead and remove track. So we're going to drag this ML drums back up into the tracking areas where it was before. Make sure the arm is off, but keep the track just in case we ever want to go back to it. I'm a big fan of keeping this track, or as many tracks as you can possibly keep, because again, as I had said last time, you know, an engineer can do a lot with these kinds of things. So if you send them a MIDI file, they might be able to do something a little different than you would have done. So we're going to go back into its plugins and adjust the plugins accordingly. Okay. So then now we have our new drums, which I feel as though improves the song. I would have wished you well, but I don't think you believe me. All right, and that will pretty much do it for today. It's a short one, but a good one. Maybe try out some new different drums on your side. And if you have any suggestions on drum instruments or plugins that I don't know about, let me know in the comments because I'm always down to try some new things. The best way to find your drums when you do download them is to click this browse and click the instruments, and it should show up in this little area here. Depending on how many plugins you have, it'll be on this bar at the very least, and then you would just take it and drag it on, and then ML drums will load right up, and then you can do it from there. So maybe give it a shot, see how it goes, and yeah, I'll see you next week.